Welcome to another draft through MTGSpeculation.com. Here in a 64-man for Oath of the Gatewatch. I'm getting to this pack a little bit late. I just put coffee on. Captain's Clause has not impressed me. Oblivion Strike is just the best common in the set. Cyclone Sire is very good. I'd be happy to have one in my deck, but black is very strong, and it's really important to have on-curve removal in this format because a lot of the quick games you're just getting run over, and you need something to stabilize and get problematic creatures off the board. Okay, so Rare was taken out of this pack. There's another Oblivion Strike. The one thing that's unfortunate about this pack is we're passing a lot of black and white. We're not really passing any other colors. And ideally, when you start with black, I prefer to be in black-white. If it's open, and this pack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the cards belong in that archetype, or at least could go or slot in. I'm going to take Grasp of Darkness here. Oblivion Strike is more splashable, but this is really cheap interaction. Very happy to have it. Now we're just hoping that we don't have to continue to ship good black stuff. Like a third pick Oblivion Strike is going to put the person to our left almost assuredly in black. Wow! What is happening? This is a third pick Oblivion Strike for me. So for the player on our left, they're basically getting hooked into most likely black-white, depending on what they've opened. And what's going to end up happening for them is they're going to get cut, because I'm very firmly in black at this point. There's a Flaying Tendrils in that pack as well, which is a consideration, but I haven't found it to be that great in the format. A lot of times the cheap creatures end up getting supported, through Saddleback Lagak or Shoulder to Shoulder, those types of things. And they just get out of range of it. And once they're out of range of it, it's just not very helpful. There are certain board states where it's really, really good, and I like to have one in my sideboard, but I'm not going to for Oblivion Strike. Okay, this is interesting. So again, there's a lot of white available in this pack. White's very open to our right. Expedition Raptor is a good card. Draga Auxiliary is a very good card. If I had 3 Oblivion Strikes instead of the Grasp of Darkness, I'd be a little bit more comfortable splashing this. As it stands, it might still be the pick. 5s are pretty replaceable in the format. I do want to stop sending white signals, though. So I'm just going to take the safe pick. Okay. So this is an interesting pack. There's a good green card here. We haven't really seen much in green. There's a good blue card, a good red card. No black cards, interestingly enough. I'm just going to take Shoulder to Shoulder, I think, out of this pack. It's probably the weakest card on raw power level of the ones I mentioned. Zada's Commando, Expedition Raptor, Tudru Path Warden. I could hedge in green and take the Path Warden as well, but I want the cheap card accelerant that stabilizes my board early. This card can lead to really, really fast wins. And I for sure want one in my deck, whereas there's a pretty high probability that I don't want 2 Expedition Raptors in my deck when all is said and done. So I don't have many allies yet. So Spawnbinder fills in a slot at the 4-drop position. Searing Light is a bad removal spell, and I already have 3 very good ones. And there's just better versions of this in the BFZ packs. So I'll take Spawn Bender. Okay. So we're seeing that there is some late blue and red floating around, but I'm just going to take Expedition Raptor here. What? This has been such a weird draft. So Containment Membrane is a good card, but I think people are sort of off the Surge deck unless it really comes together. I know that it was playing in the finals of the GP this weekend, but okay, I'm going to take Allied Reinforcements. Hedron Crawler is really, really good, but this works really well with the 2 Expedition Raptors. It's allies for my Cohort guys, which I'm pretty sure to get at some point, and it's just really late for that to be going. Okay, wow. Of course, Scythe Master is a very nice attacker. Pretty happy to see it. Worth noting, I sent black signals, but only really one. And then we didn't really get any more black out of that pack. So I'm not sure if the person directly on my right ended up moving in, or if it's a couple spots up, but black dried up pretty quickly in that pack. I should keep Mighty Leap in for now. Probably won't run it, but... But we're on 11 playables already. Full marginal combat tricks. Unnatural Endurance is quite good, though. Okay, so the main goal out of the next pack is to lower our curve. We're really looking for 2 and 3 drops. The Ondu War Cleric is probably a very, very high pick for us in this coming pack. That card does a lot of work in this archetype. Wow. Well, Oblivion Strike. For a second I didn't see it as a black card because it's, devoid. Otherwise, there's not a lot for us. We're pretty heavily in white-black. I mean, 3 Oblivion Strikes is... the upper limit is probably 4. I think I'm happy at 3, though. I don't think I want another one. Okay, Core Sky Climber. There, I was getting a little bit worried with this pack. An uncommon was taken. I've seen Needle Spires go really, really late. But yeah, we're on the Sky Climber. We want to see the cheap cohort guys now. Ondu War Cleric again is the number one. What in the world? Can I even afford to take a 4th Oblivion Strike? Ms. Core Scythe Master is the other option. Well, we're at the upper limit. I just can't, in good conscience, pass Oblivion Strike. This is actually tormenting. I could have 5 Oblivion Strikes in this draft, which is kind of absurd. Okay, so we got another Sky Climber. I don't feel as bad now. We got another 3-drop. There are a ton of white 3-drops and black 3-drops in Oath of the Gatewatch. So that's why, the Scythe Master is a little bit more replaceable than another Oblivion Strike. So yeah, take the Sky Climber. Again, we're light on 2-drops. We would really like to see a couple 2-drops. Another 3-drop would probably be nice. Okay, so another Sky Climber. with the double black cost, I don't really want to splash for Reflector Mage. There's also a cheap trick, but I need creatures. I have a lot of spells already. I'm at 5 removal spells, which is pretty great. And then I'm probably on only 1 trick, if any. With this much removal, tricks are a little bit worse. A natural end seems good, but... yeah, basically all of our black cards are removal. We're sort of mono-white with black removal. Okay, here we go. Really happy to see this. It's a cheap ally. It's not a cohort one, but it's a support target. Turns on my Spawnbinder Mage. Triggers any Colostra healers or things like that that I get in the future. So go ahead and take that. So 3 Sky Climbers. It's pretty decent. It works well with support. You don't have 3 support cards. So Scythe Master, same thing. That's the nice thing about the white 3-drops is that they all sort of come with one version or another of evasion. Here, Reality Hemorrhage is really good against me, and there's literally nothing for me in this pack. Take a Hedron Crawler. It's a really late sweep away. And I could take a Corpse Churn, but I don't really see the point. So again, we've seen basically no black creatures. We sent essentially 0 black to the right. And we got past an Oblivion Strike again. I don't know if maybe people in this pod are, this is one of their first drafts. This is only the 2nd day of release. But it is just the best common, full stop. Nothing doing here, but Zada's Commando shuts down my early creatures pretty well. Although I guess these 3 have flying. Alright. So I'm actually pretty unsure of what's going on in this draft. We've seen late green cards, but not early good green cards, really. So I would imagine that somebody on my left is in green. Maybe green-black, and it might just have been the case where the pack's broke in such a way that black was, Oblivion Strike was just the 2nd or 3rd best card in each pack, which is a little bit scary, because I would pick Oblivion Strike over quite a few of the rares, and most of the uncommons. I picked it over Cyclone Sire, which is an above average uncommon. Okay, so we got a 2-drop. It's a life gain 2-drop, and right now we're actually not the life gain deck. We can become the life gain deck in this pack. I think it's still just the pick, because again, I need 2-drops. And there's not much else for me. I mean, a Fortified Rampart, but not super interested in that. I'm still pretty light on creatures, so I'm going to be prioritizing creatures over pretty much anything else. So this is an interesting pack. There's a lot for me here. Corn Tanglers is pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 allies. But there's also a Blood Bond Vampire. Again, I don't have a whole lot. I don't have any life gain yet. So this card just might not be good for my deck at this point. I'm trying to think of what I would need to get to make this above average in my deck, and if it's likely that I see it. An uncommon was taken from this pack. There's a lot of black and white stuff. I think that Corn Tanglers is just a safer pick, because I need a lot to go right for the Bloodbond Vampire to be better than just a Hill Giant in my deck. So we got another 2-drop. Not a fantastic one, but it is an ally. It's an early play. There's an Evolving Wilds as well, but I'm just going to take creatures here. It's a Gideon's Reproach, which is a cheap removal spell. And kind of a trick. If I were to cut, one of the Unnatural Endurances, I'm at 3 2-drops now. Ghostly Sentinel's another 5-drop. It's not an ally. I think I'm going to take Reproach here. Okay, what in the world is happening? So now I wish I'd taken the Ghostly Sentinel, because I'm taking Grip here. This has been such a weird draft. Okay, so now I have to take creatures. Like, I don't even like Royal's Retribution, so I'm just going to take Calling Drone. So we have answers for days. Unnatural Endurance certainly isn't necessary in this deck anymore. I basically just need filler creatures. I have, a couple evasive threats. I have 5 evasive threats in the 2 Sky Climbers and Expedition Raptors, which, and I guess Makindi Aeronaut counts, mostly because it can be supported on. And then Corn Tanglers helps me push through damage, and then I have all this removal to back it up. So my deck should have answers if I can get to turn 4. I mean, 4 Oblivion Strikes is a lot. I'll do Rising as a card. I'll take it. It's kind of a creature. It's sort of a 6-drop creature. It does turn on Serene Steward, kind of. So yeah, this draft has been so strange, I don't even really know what to expect here. I felt like black was being cut from my right in pack 1 after the first couple picks, because I got 2 Oblivion Strikes and a Grasp, and another Oblivion Strike. Here, I think Allied Reinforcements counts as a creature, so I'm sort of at 14, 15 if I run Undo Rising. So I don't need like an ultra filler level card like Geyser Field Stalker. I'll take the card that I could side in and Lithomancer's Focus. I'll just take the Nissa's Renewal. For the old collection, just not going to take a Geyser Field Stalker. Okay. Rampart's going to be nice against the really aggressive decks if I need it. I'm not going to start it though. Okay, Dominator Drone. I'll end up making the cut if I feel like I really need creatures. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this deck. The only thing is, it's definitely a black-white control deck. It's just sort of a kill-em-all creature, or a kill-em-all deck. But I don't have a lot of card acceleration. I could have hands where I just draw 3 Oblivion Strikes and like 1 creature, and then that creature dies. and I just get beaten down by sky spawners and token makers and things like that, where my 1-for-1 removal just isn't efficient. Okay, so we have to wait for everyone to finish in the entire 64 man, so I'm going to go ahead and pause until I can start building. Alright, so here we are in building. The group separately here, and just take a look. I do want to run shoulder to shoulder, allied reinforcements as a creature. I think I am going to run all of this removal. 7 removal spells is pretty great. So I'm on 8 spells. I think this is still a 17 land deck if I don't run Ondu Rising. Because otherwise one of my cuts is, Culling Drone, Dominator Drone. I guess I don't have I don't have any rally triggers outside of Core Entanglers. Maybe it is just better to cut like a Dominator Drone. Actually, I like the 3 power guys more. I'm just going to take, or no, actually the 2 power guys are better. So I could run something like this. It's got a lot of 2. Ondu Rising is more of a 5 or a 6. I think I can still run 17 with this. I have enough early plays of a lot of 3 drops. I don't have a ton of card acceleration, so I want to make sure that I get where I'm trying to go. I'm going to go 9-8 because I do have a grasp. And I'm just going to run this, see how it goes.